Today's video is sponsored by our good friends at Famous Faces and Funnies, located in Melbourne, Florida. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. As well as our friends at Docking Bay 94, located in Boca Raton, Florida. Check us out on comicsandgames.com. Wow, what a crazy week we've had in G.I. Joe. The announcement of the 6-inch line at the recent toy fair, as well as a possible 4-inch line. I know it's been all over the Facebook groups, and I know HCC talked about it in his live stream, so I'm not going to really go into that. If you're here, you know all about that. If you haven't, check up those guys. I have some stuff on my Facebook page. But today we're into covering issue number 270. We're trying to play a little bit of catch up. And wow, this is a setup issue for something that's going to happen, more action happening down later on the other issues. Of course, we show all the cover variants, Robert Atkins, Jamie Sullivan, and the John Royal covers. All awesome guys. Gotten to know them. And again, I just love these variant covers. Alright, we're not going to muck around and we're going to dive right into the action. So on the last thing we saw on 269 is Zartan comes and saves Destro and the Baroness from the Revance facility to their surprise. And right now they have to fight their way out of Revance headquarters. And, everyone's aware to the situation and Revance personnel is swooming in on them. So these three are literally fighting for their lives because Revance is has a shoot to kill thing, and you could see them. I mean, they're in neck deep with robots trying to erase them, and the thing is Destro and Zartan have Zartan has a really weird relationship with Cobra. He's kind of reversed footing, and he's kind of like a gray character. He's not bad and he's not good. And it all depends on interest. But in this case, he's trying to recruit Destro to help him in rescuing SnakeEyes. And in this episode, it's like a chess piece. We're going to see all the pieces move that we've seen in previous issues as they all converge onto Springfield to help SnakeEyes. Of course, when you have Zartan, you're going to have the Dreadnoks following right behind him. And here we got some great drawings of the Thunder Machine. And Nito Diaz is actually, you could tell from his artwork that this is definitely Nito's work. Like in typical cartoon cliche that we've all grown up loving in the 80s and 90s, Alpha 001 finally emerges to corner our escapees. And you can see that look of fear. I mean, the Dreadnoks and Zartan what the hell is this? And Destro is oh my gosh, it's Alpha 001. We're not going to get out of here. We're not going to get out of here. And all of a sudden, we see this huge cinder block come and smash the side of Alpha 001. And when you see a cinder block, who does that mean? We got Road Pig coming to the rescue. Road Pig of all people coming in to rescue everybody. And they all quickly regroup and they get the hell out of there. The very ominous foreshadowing of Destro saying we haven't seen the last of Alpha 001. And we see, back in the hive, Alpha 001 is saying agreement that, yep, you haven't seen the last of me. I'm going to get you. So it remains to be seen what is Revance's endgame in this situation. So now we're going to jump to Midtown Manhattan. And we know from previous issues, this is where Joe Colton and G.I. Jane are located, operating that satellite special weapons. So in the other issue, we saw that a stiletto went up and knocked out their satellite. So now they're kind of running around like NASA would when a Mars rover is having trouble. They're trying to figure out how to fix this. And Joe Colton's you got 1 day to figure this out, because Jane's it's going to take a week. He's no, you need to do this in 1 day. And like I said, the beauty of this issue, and you got to look at it like a checkerboard. You have your king and queen. All the pieces are moving around to get to that king. That's what's going to make this issue fun. So now back at the pit, we see that Hawk and the G.I. Joe team are scrambling. They're preparing their rescue missions for Sean. And, we see that downstairs, the vehicle team is being mobilized, while upstairs, the air team is getting ready to accept the ground unit in. And the big thing is they're called in the National Guard for air support. And we see in mission control, dial tone and mainframe and psych out are all there with Duke and Hawk overseeing the operations. And they're coordinating with the National Air Guard for this move because it's a really big move. All of a sudden, they get a call from the Pentagon, and it's for Hawk. And you can see look on Hawk's face, like this could be bad news. And there's Maya and Nissa. Why is that there? For those that are regular, you guys know my 3 girls and how cute they are. So having this a little break in the action is harmless. And you see from Hawk's demeanor, this conversation is going from bad to worse. The Pentagon just giving him shit about using their resources to get Sean out. You could see the dilemma Hawk is going through. He wants to save one of his guys, but he also has to comply with top brass. It's putting him in a gut-wrenching position. And what's happening is that all the air support that was flown in and they were just about to land to, load up all the vehicles, they just did about face and just left the scene. And you could see the look on Wild Bill's face like, what the hell? Meanwhile, now that that order has been, they have to bring all of that armory back down to ground level. Now think about that for a second. All that effort that, Thunder, Steeler, and everybody went to bring all of that armored vehicles up to ground level. Now they have to bring it back down. Okay, now we're going back into Springfield and we're going to take a look at what's going on with Sean at the moment. As we follow the panels, we're going to descend deeper and deeper to this ultra secret low-level facility that's housing Dr. Mindbender and Cobra Commander, as Mindbender is working frantically to upgrade or update the Brainwave Scanner with whatever he is that's going to break Sean into joining the ranks of Cobra and turning on the Joes. And you see Cobra Commander's impatient. Meanwhile, we have Laura, who's still locked in with Sean. And we see that Sean is actually he's fidgeting out, and Laura is just like, stop it. I've told you not to do anything. Stop trying to free yourself. And of course, Sean is going to get out. But the question is, Laura, is she going to switch sides or what's going on? Because I have a feeling she might. Now, we're going back to Fort Wadsworth, and we know that Wade Collins has joined Steeler, his old buddy, into trying to rescue his son. Now, Stalker gets the call from Hawk saying that we have to stand down, and that's heartbreaking. A father can't help save his son. In the East Village is where we have the Arashikage clan. And we see Scarlet gets the call from Hawk as well that the Joes have been ordered to stand down. And we see Granny is leading the charge. We're like, you know what? I'm not part of G.I. Joe, and neither is the Arashikage clan. Sean is a member of the clan. Therefore, we are going to act on our own and save Sean. Meanwhile, after the rescue effort, we are at the Dreadnoks' home, one of their many home bases in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and we see Duke and the Baroness sitting there after their rescue. Destro's like, all right, let's cut the chit-chat. I know you didn't rescue me out of the goodness of your heart. What is your intentions, and why did you do this? So Zartan fills in Destro like, all right, this is what's going on. We have all these parties converging on Springfield because they're planning to use the brainwave scanner on SnakeEyes. So, we all have beef with Cobra, and we all, in one way, owe something to SnakeEyes for something rather another. So it is to our advantage that we work together to free SnakeEyes. They still think this is the original SnakeEyes, mind you. So at this exact moment, Crystal Ball, who's the crazy person delivering pizzas and gathering intel, calls in to let them know that, yeah, he's still, at that main facility over there. So whenever you're ready, let me know. And at the same time, we see the October Guard doing their patrol of Springfield as well. And again, they're while Crystal Ball is delivering pizzas, October Guard is delivering ice cream. So it's kind of hilarious that how they're going about infiltrating Springfield and trying to gather intel. And at this point, we're going back to Fort Wadsworth, and we see Wade Collins going ballistic. I'm going to go after and save my son. I don't care what they say. I'm a civilian. And we see Rock and Roll and everybody consulting Wade, be like, yeah, we know this sucks. This is terrible. We owe it to Sean. Sean is our friend. And they come in with the idea that, you know what? We're going to still do this, but we can't use government equipment. I have something that we could use that I've been keeping for a special occasion. So they descend down to the lower levels of Fort Wadsworth, and we're going to see a vehicle we haven't seen in a very long time in G.I. Joe. And I'm talking early Marvel run of G.I. Joe. And as Grunt removes the thing to reveal the vehicle, none other than, Candy's van. I know Ripcord will probably cry when he sees this, but he has kept this van in storage all these years. And they're going to use that to rescue Sean. Fitting. Meanwhile, back at the pit, Hawk is just beside himself. He's pissed off. One of his boys is in danger, and he's being told to stand down. At this point, Steeler comes in and says, "Sir, everybody wants to take vacation because they all want to use their free time to save their brother, their friend, Sean Collins." And that's where we end with this issue. All the pieces are in place. There was a wrinkle, but now adjustments are going to be made, and they're all going to converge onto Springfield in one effort. Is it going to be too late? We'll find out in the next issue, issue 271 of G.I. Joe. This is going to go down as an iconic series, guys. And I'm so happy to present it to you, and I'm so glad you're joining me for this ride. So until next time, this is Shabu RU signing off.